God says, "My beloved child, what I am about to reveal to you must not be ignored. This is a divine emergency." Archangel Michael himself has descended with trembling in his voice and tears in his eyes, because something terrible was planned against you, and the one who orchestrated it has been exposed. There is a reason your soul kept feeling something strange recently, a heaviness you couldn't explain. There is a reason you kept waking up at odd hours. It wasn't paranoia. It wasn't fear. It was me, God, trying to shake you awake from a dangerous illusion. The threat is real. The person is real. And the time to act is now. Archangel Michael says, "I order you in the name of divine protection, open your eyes, open your heart, and open this truth fully, because if you ignore it this time, I may not be able to save you the next time." You are surrounded by divine warriors, but even heavenly forces cannot help those who refuse to listen when the trumpet is sounded. This is not symbolic. This is not metaphorical. This is a literal emergency of spiritual and emotional danger. Someone who has smiled in your presence, spoken sweet words, and pretended to care for you, has in secret plotted your fall. God says, "I have watched this person for a long time. I gave them several chances to repent. I sent signs to them to change their heart. But instead of softening, they hardened. Instead of stepping back from their plan, they accelerated it. They felt confident you would never know. But nothing escapes me. Every hidden thing is laid bare before my throne. I saw the conversations. I saw the payments. I saw the betrayal. I saw them showing a photo of you to another person. I saw the moment they laughed and said, 'They'll never see it coming.' But you have seen it now, because I chose to reveal it to you through this very message. Archangel Michael is pleading with you, you are not weak. You are not alone. But you must understand this, the person trying to harm you is very close to you. Their identity is shocking because it will break your heart. But would you rather live in a beautiful lie, or be protected by the painful truth? This name that is being revealed is not just a name. It's a key to your freedom. Once you know it, your spiritual eyes will be opened forever. Your discernment will become like fire. Your path will become like lightning. But only if you receive this truth without denial. God says, "The one who wants to harm you has manipulated you for too long. They've pretended to support you. But behind your back, they've spoken the opposite. They've smiled with you but rejoiced when you cried. They envied your strength and tried to make you doubt your own gifts. They introduced confusion into your dreams. They tried to turn others against you with their poisoned words. They claimed you were unstable, untrustworthy, or delusional. But the irony is, they were projecting their own spiritual sickness onto you. And now, that sickness is being pulled into the light. This message is not meant to make you afraid. It is meant to make you free. Archangel Michael stands at the gate of your heart right now, holding a scroll in his hand with one name written on it. He is not allowed to enter unless you say yes. You must spiritually agree to receive this protection. Say this in your spirit: Michael, I accept your warning. I give you permission to intervene. I trust you and God with my protection. And now that you've agreed, the seal is broken, and the truth is being delivered. God says, the name is redacted for message delivery format, meant for divine revelation within the message body. You know this person well. You've even defended them. You may have even told others, they'd never hurt me. But deep down, something always felt off. They always managed to twist stories. They made you feel guilty for things you didn't do. They made you second-guess your own memories. That's because they've been playing a game with your spirit, one meant to destroy your confidence and isolate you. But now, I am shining a divine spotlight on their face, and they cannot hide anymore. Archangel Michael weeps and says, "You have no idea how long I've been trying to get you to open this message. I've tried to reach you through dreams, repeated numbers, songs, strange coincidences, flickering lights, and even random people. But you kept saying, 'I'll look at it later.' And while you delayed, this person kept advancing. But now that you've opened this fully, the miracle of reversal has begun. God says, do not confront this person physically. Do not argue. Do not expose that you know. Instead, begin preparing your distance spiritually and emotionally. Begin separating. I will remove them from your life in such a divine way that you won't even have to lift a finger. I will cause their plans to collapse like a house of cards. I will cause confusion in their camp. The same way they tried to turn others against you, I will turn the very forces of heaven against their lies. Their tongue will betray them. Their own hands will expose them. And all those they deceived will begin to see the truth about you. Archangel Michael says, heaven has already filed the case. Your name is being cleared. Your soul is being restored. The punishment for those who plotted against you will not be light. It will be divine justice. And while they suffer consequences, you will rise. A reversal is coming that will leave even you speechless. You'll wake up in one season and fall asleep in another. The same way they tried to end you, God will now end every obstacle in your path. God says, you're about to experience blessings so shocking that they will serve as proof that I have intervened. The person who tried to destroy you didn't just fail, they activated your miracle. What they meant for evil, I am turning into a divine launch. They buried a seed thinking it was your funeral. But I was using it to plant your breakthrough. You are not dying. You are being reborn. Archangel Michael adds, someone in your bloodline also knew part of this plot. They may not have supported it directly, but they stayed silent. And their silence allowed evil to grow. I see your pain about this. I see your confusion. You ask, why would families stay quiet? But not all who share your blood share your spirit. And I say to you with love, forgive, but do not allow that silence to hold you hostage. Forgiveness is your sword. Distance is your shield. Use both wisely. God continues, your house will be protected. I am assigning angels to each corner of your dwelling. You may feel strange temperatures, sudden peace, or overwhelming warmth in the coming hours. That's not your imagination. That is my army arriving. They will encamp around your doorposts, your bed, your windows, your devices. Nothing the enemy planned will enter your space. Archangel Michael says, tonight, while the world sleeps, there will be a divine exchange. The pain they caused you will be taken and transformed into power. The tears you cried in secret will water the soil of your destiny. The shame you felt when no one believed you will become the light that blinds your enemies. God says, I have not forgotten what you went through. I was with you when you were crying in the bathroom pretending to be okay. I saw the text messages that broke your spirit. I heard the words spoken against you behind closed doors. I felt the moment you almost gave up. But I also saw the moment you said, God, I trust you anyway. And that moment changed everything. Archangel Michael says, now, it is time for you to reclaim everything that was stolen from you: peace, trust, stability, clarity, purpose. The person who tried to harm you has just been marked by heaven. They will not prosper in their plans. In fact, they will face judgment. But your judgment will be freedom. Yours will be favor. God says, you will be elevated beyond anything they imagined. You will walk into rooms they tried to lock you out of. You will receive phone calls they never expected you to get. You will be mentioned in rooms they tried to exclude you from. And they will watch your life bloom, unable to stop it, unable to copy it, unable to touch it. This is my promise to you. And I never break my word. Archangel Michael closes with this: you are not crazy. You are not imagining this attack. You are not weak for feeling hurt. But now, you are rising. You are stepping into your divine authority. And from this moment on, every time that person speaks your name, it will tremble with regret. God says, I have spoken. Now walk in my word. You are safe. You are rising. You are loved. You are protected. And the identity of your enemy has been fully revealed, just in time. God says, listen carefully, because tonight is not ordinary. Tonight, something is shifting in your house, in the realm around you. Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of your doorstep. He is not knocking with thunder. He is not shouting through the skies. He is whispering, begging, pleading. He is kneeling before God with urgency in his voice saying, "Please, allow them to open this now before it's too late." You may think you have time, but in the language of angels, every delay can change your divine outcome. Tonight, there is something entering your home, a shift, a presence, a decision being made behind your back, and Archangel Michael has seen it from the spiritual world. That's why he's been restlessly circling you. That's why your heart felt heavy without explanation today. That's why the lights flickered. That's why you woke up at that strange hour in the night and couldn't understand why your breath felt different, why the wind felt like it was carrying a voice. It was him. Archangel Michael. He stood beside your bed and whispered, "Please, open it. Please, listen. Just this once." God says you are loved deeply. That's why this message was allowed to be delivered to you. Because heaven sees what you don't. Because the spiritual world sees what's moving in shadows behind the curtain of your physical reality. God is showing something tonight, and if you don't open your soul, your spirit, your attention in this very hour, you might miss the divine sign meant only for you. Yes, only for you. This is not a general word. This is not a broadcast to all. This is a whisper behind the veil of heaven directed at your soul, calling you by name in the language of eternity. Archangel Michael says, "I saw it before it entered your home. I saw what they did. I saw what they buried in silence. I saw the tears that were not yours, but connected to your destiny. And I saw the person, the one who is pretending to be your shield, the one who is telling you they are on your side, but in the night, they're whispering curses over your photo. They don't know that I heard them. They don't know that heaven records even the quietest words." God says tonight a truth will be revealed. Not in thunder. Not in explosions. But in a quiet unraveling. Something that will unfold like silk slipping off a table, slowly, without sound, but it will change everything. A conversation you were not meant to hear will be heard. A name you had forgotten will come up unexpectedly. And when that happens, you will remember this message. God says this is not to scare you. This is to prepare you. Because what was hidden from you was meant to remain hidden. The person responsible never expected heaven to intervene. But they forgot that your name is written in light. They forgot that your mother's prayers are still echoing through the spiritual halls of heaven. They forgot that Archangel Michael was assigned to you since birth, not to watch, but to protect, to battle, to cry when you're hurt, to roar when your destiny is under attack. Michael is alerting you tonight not for a distant future but for something happening within hours. Not days. Not weeks. But tonight. The shift will be quiet. but it will be visible to your spirit. That's why you must not be spiritually asleep. That's why you must not ignore this call. Archangel Michael says he saw a shadow enter through the hallway. Not physical, but energetic. It clings to someone close to you. This person does not know they are being used. They may love you, or pretend to. But their heart was infiltrated by jealousy. God says that's why your blessings felt delayed. That's why things have been stuck. Because someone's intention was secretly strangling your miracles. And tonight, the chain is breaking. But you must be awake. You must let Michael enter. Michael says, I beg of you, please open the door to this message. Do not scroll past it. Do not delay it for later. Because the moment your spirit accepts it, the war that was brewing behind your back will collapse in a blink. You were meant to see this right now, not a second later. That's why the angel assigned to your home is trembling with urgency. God says a photo was recently touched with ill intent. You don't even know it. But someone, somewhere, took an image that has you in it, and did something dark behind closed doors. It wasn't a stranger. It was someone you trusted. They touched the image and whispered something meant to curse. But they forgot that your soul was already claimed by God's hands. They forgot that heaven writes in fire. And tonight, fire is falling. The angel is not only warning you. He's here to restore what was taken. A name was erased from a list of blessings, yours. But it is being rewritten by fire from heaven. A phone call you thought would never come, is coming. A message that was blocked, will now be delivered. A document that was withheld, will now be signed. Because heaven is declaring, enough is enough. The delay ends tonight. Michael says, you don't even know what you were robbed of. You don't even know what conversations were happening about you in rooms you were never invited to. But I was there. I heard. I saw. I stood silently because God told me to wait. But now the order has been given. Intervene. Protect. Speak. That's why I'm screaming through this message. God says this may be your only window. This night may not repeat. Because the plan of darkness was perfectly timed. But so is the plan of heaven. That's why you're reading this now. You didn't stumble on this. You were led to it. There's a scroll unfolding in heaven with your name on it. And Michael is standing beside it with his sword glowing, ready to mark your destiny back on track. God says that a man, a familiar man, has been paid to hide something from you. He doesn't know you are about to find out. He thinks your eyes are still blind. But your spirit is awakening now. You are not who you were yesterday. You are evolving, elevating, emerging into the version heaven always designed you to be. That's why the attacks have intensified. But Michael is assigned to respond with equal force. Michael says, the reason you've been tired lately is not physical. Your soul is battling every night. When you sleep, your angels are fighting. That's why you wake up exhausted. That's why you feel drained around certain people. They are carrying energies not meant for your space. But you keep letting them in. Tonight, that changes. God says there is something under your roof that needs to be removed. It's an object. It might seem innocent. But it was placed or gifted with wrong energy. You will know it when you see it. You'll feel something strange about it. Don't doubt your discernment. When your body reacts, it's not fear, it's your spirit alerting you. Trust it. Remove it. Because the moment you do, peace will return. A flow will begin. Something will click. Heaven is not far. It is hovering close. Watching. Waiting. Holding its breath. Because your next decision will decide the direction of your breakthrough. This is not small. This is not symbolic. This is the exact moment you were meant to collide with destiny. Michael is still waiting. He's not angry. But he's desperate. He's pacing outside your spiritual door like a soldier on guard, waiting for the order to step in. But the key is in your hands. Not in prayers of perfection, but in your surrender. Just whisper to God, I open. I receive. Let your will be done. Protect my home. Send Michael in. That's all it takes. Tonight, someone who thought you would never know their secret will be exposed. It might come in a sentence. A look. A slip of the tongue. And you will know, heaven is real. The angels are not mythical. God has never forgotten you. Your pain was not invisible. Your battles were not in vain. Everything is shifting. Michael says, child of light, do not fear what's coming. Fear only what happens when you ignore the signs. But you are not ignoring this. That's why I'm here. That's why this message found you before midnight. That's why the next hours are crucial. God says He's removing the masks. One by one. A friend you trusted will be revealed for their betrayal. A voice you believed will be exposed for their lies. A plan that was set in silence will crumble in full light. Because God is bringing exposure. Not to hurt you, but to free you. Heaven is not asking you to act in revenge. Michael says, just be still. Let me fight. Let me speak. Let me enter. But don't shut the door again. The moment you do, you'll feel a shift. Your body may tremble. You may cry for no reason. That's not confusion. That's spiritual realignment. Even now, the clouds are moving. Even now, the spiritual world is preparing. Even now, someone is sensing something has changed, and they are growing afraid. Because they know their time is up. Because your angels have been activated. Michael says, I order you by love, not force. I command by protection, not pride. I beg you as your guardian, not as your master. Open. Listen. Accept. Because tonight, you are being watched by all of heaven. And we are ready to move. God says He's not just saving your house tonight. He's saving your legacy. Because what's being fought in silence is not just about today, it's about your children, your future, your finances, your spiritual name in the halls of heaven. And God refuses to let it be stolen without a divine defense. Your miracles were scheduled. Your blessings were ordered. But the hands of jealousy tried to reschedule your season. That's why Archangel Michael came with fire in his eyes. That's why this message is burning in your soul. Because the war is ending. The deception is dying. And you are rising. You are not alone. You never were. But tonight, more than ever, the angel that was assigned to you has come out of the shadows to declare, the war ends now. The truth begins. The house is being cleansed. And heaven is watching. God says, now that the veil has been torn and the identity of this person has been laid bare before your spirit, do not return to blindness. This moment was ordained before time. I allowed their plan to form, not because I abandoned you, but because I wanted to use it to sharpen your discernment. You had to see who they really are. You had to know what was lurking beneath the surface. This betrayal was not a curse. It was your awakening. It was your divine appointment with truth. Archangel Michael stands now with a sword of blazing light in his hand. The atmosphere around him vibrates with holy thunder. His face, once calm, now burns with intensity. He says, I swore an oath to protect you. I stood beside you when you were a child and they laughed at you. I walked through your pain when you didn't know how to pray. And now, I stand between you and this enemy. This is the final warning. The forces that were mocking your journey have been dismantled. Heaven has risen. This person's influence is collapsing from the inside out. God says, I am removing them without your effort. Do not chase. Do not try to explain yourself. Do not beg for closure. I am your closure. I am your vindication. They will feel the silence. They will hear the echo of what they lost. The access they once had to your spirit has been permanently revoked by divine decree. This is not a season for revenge. This is a season for ascension. You may feel tempted to check up on them. You may feel a strange sadness or guilt as their face comes to mind. But God says, this is not your burden anymore. I am lifting it off your back. The spell of emotional confusion they cast over you is breaking now. You are stepping into mental clarity that will feel like heaven on earth. Archangel Michael says, the whispers of self-doubt will cease. You will no longer hear their words in your mind. You will no longer shrink yourself just to be accepted by false hearts. This person who tried to harm you underestimated who you are. They underestimated your strength. They thought you were naive. They thought you were too soft to rise. But they forgot who walks with you. I do. And when I walk with someone, they are never defeated. God says, prepare yourself, for the next few days will be filled with divine signs. Some things will feel strange. People will randomly disappear from your life. Don't panic. It's not loss. It's divine pruning. I'm cutting off branches that no longer bear fruit. I'm removing those who were only assigned to you for a season, but stayed beyond their welcome. I'm releasing you from soul ties and emotional debts that were never yours to carry. You will see things in dreams. Names will come. Faces you forgot will appear. Archangel Michael says, do not be afraid of these dreams. These are messages. These are spiritual documents being delivered to your soul. Write them down. Sit with them. Let them guide you. This is heaven's intelligence being downloaded into your spirit. God says, what was hidden is being revealed. There is a reason this moment was delayed until now. If I had shown you earlier, you would have rushed to fix things. You would have tried to give them more chances. You would have argued with divine timing. But now, your spirit is strong enough to see and not deny. Now, you can handle the fire without trying to save the one who lit it. Archangel Michael says, you are no longer bound to that betrayal. You are no longer tied to that energy. The chains are falling off your name. Your reputation is being restored. Those who once doubted you will come back to apologize. Those who stayed silent when they should have defended you will be convicted by heaven. And this person, the one who wanted to harm you, will be faced with their own reflection. God will show them exactly what they became. God says, you are not the villain in their story. You are not the broken one. You are not the mistake. You are the chosen one. And that's what provoked them. They saw your glow. They saw the favor on your life. They felt the calling before you even understood it yourself. That's why they tried to dim it. That's why they tried to humiliate you. That's why they gossiped. But none of it can survive the light of my justice. Archangel Michael speaks again with authority. The enemy has been stripped of access. Their words now bounce off your anointed shield. Their lies have returned to sender. Their spiritual tracking has been cancelled. They can no longer see you. They can no longer speak confusion into your path. I have wiped your trail clean. God says, you've been fighting battles you didn't start. You've been explaining yourself to deaf ears. You've been seeking love in places I never assigned. But now, I am rerouting you. I'm placing you into the environment of your next miracle. You are stepping into rooms where your name has already been whispered in reverence. You are about to receive things you never asked for, because I saw the tears you cried in silence. You may feel the urge to go quiet. That's not depression. That's divine incubation. You're being protected from distractions. You're being called into alignment. Let the silence surround you. Let my voice become the loudest. You are not being isolated. You're being prepared. Archangel Michael adds, this person may try one last time to get your attention. They may send a message. They may act innocent. They may pretend they don't know why you pulled away. Do not respond. That moment will be a test. Pass it. Ignore the bait. Silence is your sword now. Distance is your victory. God says, the blessings I'm about to pour into your life are irreversible. No hex, no curse, no jealous tongue can stop them. I am blessing your finances. I am blessing your relationships. I am restoring your sense of self. The glow that others tried to dim is now becoming a divine flame. And this time, it will burn so brightly, the world will see and glorify me. You may begin to feel chills as you read this. That is not your imagination. That is confirmation. Angels are standing near. They are surrounding your space. They are releasing heavenly oil over your head. You will feel lighter. You will feel clearer. This is what deliverance feels like. Archangel Michael says, I have waited for this day. I have fought battles in the unseen just to reach this moment with you. You are not going backward. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. The enemy who tried to destroy you just activated your acceleration. God says, now walk in what I've given you. Say this out loud in your space, I receive the truth. I am protected. I will rise. I walk with God. I fear no exposure, because truth is my covering. And it is done. Your miracle begins now. Your tears have been seen. Your soul has been defended. And the person who wanted to harm you? They are now under divine judgment. You will hear news. You will see signs. but do not celebrate their fall. Instead, celebrate your rise. You have survived what was meant to break you. And now, nothing can stop what I'm about to do in your life. God says you must not underestimate the timing of this message. There is a heavenly clock ticking in the spirit right now, and it is counting down. This is not just about spiritual poetry or comforting words. This is a real-time spiritual operation. There are angelic forces that have gathered around your home this very moment. They are standing at the gates. Some are holding scrolls. Some are holding swords. But one, only one, is crying. It is Michael. He is crying because you still doubt whether you are worthy of divine intervention. He's crying because he knows what you could have already stepped into, if only you believed how much God is in love with your destiny. The truth is, even now, heaven is silent for a second. Waiting. Watching. Listening to whether your heart opens or closes to this moment. Because one closed door in your spirit can delay years of breakthrough. And God does not want that for you. Not now. Not again. There is a vibration in your atmosphere right now. You've probably felt it, maybe as chills, maybe as pressure in your chest, maybe as a strange heat in your hands. That's not just emotion. That's divine presence activating you. You were not meant to be ordinary. You were marked to be a divine vessel, a carrier of light, a breaker of generational curses. And that's exactly why the darkness fought so hard to silence you. But Michael says no more silence. No more pretending. No more second-guessing your intuition. No more tolerating energy that drains you. Tonight is sacred. Tonight is divine reset. You may ask, why now? Why tonight? Why does it matter so much? Because while you slept last night, someone made a phone call. A decision was made about your name. Something was discussed behind your back, again. Someone used words not only to criticize but to sabotage. They thought it was clever. They thought you would never know. But an angel was listening in. And now, it has reached the ears of God. That's why this message is vibrating in your soul with urgency. Because the spiritual realm is responding faster than usual. This is divine acceleration. The blessings that were meant for later are being rushed to you. Why? Because someone was trying to intercept them. God will not allow that. Someone, out of jealousy or pain, tried to curse you in secret. But God intercepted the curse midair. The words came out of their mouth but never reached you. Instead, they bounced back. And now, they're dealing with confusion. With chaos. With a sudden fear they can't explain. Because heaven has declared your protection. Michael says he is not leaving your home tonight. He will remain, sword drawn, at every window, every door. Not just to block what's coming, but to cleanse what already entered. Yes, something slipped through weeks ago. Something was carried in, not physically, but spiritually, through a conversation, a visitor, a gift, or even a shared drink. You felt the shift. You ignored it. But your spirit knew. Tonight, that attachment is breaking. You might yawn. You might weep. You might feel suddenly light or dizzy. That is the release. That is your body responding to what your soul is releasing. Don't fear it. Embrace it. It is not darkness leaving you, it is light returning. God says there is a hidden inheritance, not just of money, but of spiritual authority, that you are about to uncover. It was promised to your ancestors, but never claimed. Because someone in your bloodline was silenced. Someone who carried prophetic power was cut off before they could speak. But you were born to complete the prophecy. You were born to open the scroll. You were born to speak what others were too afraid to declare. That's why the resistance has been so strong. You thought it was just bad luck. You thought it was just exhaustion. But it was war. Spiritual war. A war against your mouth, your mind, your money, your memory. But Michael says your memory is being restored tonight. Your spiritual DNA is being reawakened. Your divine assignment is being recalibrated. You are not late. You are right on time. Even now, a phone is vibrating. A message is waiting. A conversation is being planned around your name, and this time, it's not betrayal. It's divine setup. Someone who forgot about you is remembering. Someone who rejected you is repenting. Someone who walked away from your life is being spiritually pulled back, not to repeat the past, but to witness your elevation. God says your name is being whispered in rooms you have not entered yet. Michael says he stood beside a man last week, a man who was debating whether to bless you or block you. Michael did not speak. He just stared at the man's spirit. And the man trembled. Because angels don't need to raise their voices. Their silence is a roar. And after that encounter, that man could not sleep. He could not escape the thought of you. And he will act soon. He will reach out. He will offer what he once withheld. Be ready. A woman, too, someone older, has a letter. She wrote it. She almost destroyed it. But she didn't. She's still holding it. That letter carries an answer to a question you've been asking God. She doesn't know whether to send it. But tonight, she's feeling a spiritual pressure. Because heaven is surrounding her as well. This is not just about your house. This is a divine ripple. Every person connected to your spiritual purpose is feeling the vibration of this moment. They may not know what's happening, but their spirit knows. That's why some people will distance themselves. Not because they don't love you, but because they can't handle your elevation. God says, let them go. Bless them. But do not hold on to what can't grow with you. Your destiny requires light. And light exposes. If someone walks away after the light shines, it means they were never meant to go the distance with you. Michael says, you are entering a 24-hour window of divine reversal. Things are going to flip. Where there was loss, gain. Where there was silence, answers. Where there was confusion, clarity. And the person who thought they buried your opportunity is about to watch it resurrect. God says He is not waiting for your perfection. He's responding to your surrender. Just say yes. Just believe. Just ask. Just open. That's all. The angels are not moved by religious rituals. They're moved by authenticity. And tonight, your raw, unfiltered, desperate cry is all heaven needs. Even now, a spiritual document is being stamped. Angels are shouting. Trumpets are preparing to blow. You can't hear it with your ears, but your soul can. That's why your heart is racing. That's why your body feels heat. That's why your breath just shifted. God says your house will not be the same after this. Your sleep will be different. Your dreams will be clearer. Your energy will feel lighter. Your discernment will sharpen. And your spirit will soar. Because Archangel Michael has now been given full access to your space. This moment is sacred. God says write it down. This date. This hour. Because you will look back and remember this as the night everything began to change. You will say, it was true. The message was real. Heaven really saw me. God really intervened. The angel really came. And I didn't miss it. Michael is now silent. Not because he left, but because he is acting. He is not talking anymore. He is doing. And you are now covered. Even if the lights flicker, do not fear. Even if someone calls with strange energy, do not react. Even if an old friend suddenly confesses something shocking, remain calm. Because everything is unfolding according to heaven's perfect timeline. You are safe. God says, no more fear. No more doubt. No more spiritual blindness. You are mine. I called you. I protected you. I fought for you. And now, I bless you.